diversity to a lot more than, so it's really a very good show from my assessment. Too much of me on this.
Is it my turn? I have to apologize, I'm losing my voice today. I sound very husky. This is my second year in India, and I have to say that in regard to the Morgan students, there really weren't any surprises for me. Christina's also saying no surprises. We knew how hard it was going to be, and I warned them. I warned them how hard SBA students work. How for us it's oh, you don't think so? Well, come to America. And the trip for us is it's physically taxing. We get here after this year it was 36 hours of travel, and then you go to school the next day, and especially the first week you have to really be careful about what you eat and drink. And actually, I think this year we did pretty good compared to last year when everybody had gotten a deli belly. So, but also just working together fast and hard. It's a great learning experience. It's already been said. For me, on a professional level, having the opportunity to work with you gentlemen again I've learned so much from your teachers. I can't express it, and it makes me a better teacher when I go home. Also, I learned so much professionally just from being in India, because I'm type A and fast and impatient beyond description, and coming here teaches me to be much more gracious towards everyone. So, which is not easy for me at all. It's very humbling. And it blows my mind how gracious India is as just a beautiful country with wonderful people. On a personal level, I just feel overwhelmed with gratitude to the faculty, to the administration whom I never see, and also to the to you all, to all SBA students. Thank you so much for being so hospitable and kind and generous with us. It's really very touching and very much appreciated.
Thank you for the kind words. Thank you very much. No, I think it is rather short. I know it can't be made any bigger. In the studio situation, I actually enjoy the second part of the studio more, the design phase. And I wish Morgan students were a mixed bag of very different backgrounds. I love imparting whatever I know about design to non-urban designers, non-architects, and it was interesting to talk to a very kind of people like landscape and city planning and all that. But they will not be here, so that's one this was true who will not be there in the design phase in the studio. But I'm sure actually we didn't interact much, with teachers, with the Morgan students, because this is a study phase, so most of the time they're out in the field, and we met very briefly a few times. That time also we were overpowered by this SPA 545 students who took over all the discussions. So yeah, I'm not really get to know much of you in these few years.
I have to interrupt you, but Sanjit and I have two other Indian colleagues at Morgan where we teach, and I said to one, well, when are you ever going to, wouldn't you want to teach in India? And he said, oh no, not with Indian students. Because you just never stop, you never stop.
So that's our day, and all the best. I can't say I enjoyed having you here and all that. Frankly speaking, and not you and all. I mean, we really not too much of interaction didn't happen. I wish it had happened. That's what we get, I guess. Not more than that. I mean,
Thank you. professor has been kind, but yes, certainly it was wonderful having you with us. Of course, I know and appreciate that the time was short, but I appreciate very much the kind of response, the involvement all the Morgan students had with our students, and the enthusiasm with which you took on the city head on, collected information, gelled together to put it together. I think it's a great effort. I compliment you for your effort. I think collectively the entire groups put together. We are known to be good hosts, and that's the least we could have done for you. Secondly, what I'm really glad about is that we all learned together, and we learned also through all your efforts and studies. But what I heard from all the Morgan students was there was a definite emphasis on process. And as learners, in case we are able to transfer the process in you, we don't care for the product. As long as you learn the process rightly, the product is bound to be good. That probably is my conviction. And I think if we were able to, in some form, kind of open you up to all those dimensions in some way, I think it's a little that we achieved as part of the studio. And I invite you again to visit India. And it was wonderful being part of this studio team with Sanjit and Suzanne. And we really spent some good time together. We shared a lot of thoughts on the program. Of course, we have different methodologies of teaching and learning. But again, we learn from each other, which again is a great outcome of the studio. Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, that to add that I missed that part. The interaction between the teachers was much better than the interaction with the students. Because we saw the city together in various forms, and we discussed at every moment where we have lunch together, dined together, moved together. That was a great experience.
Yeah, we were a team.
That's our reward for coming here. That's what we look forward to.
Really good. Yeah. Because I was telling also the stories were nothing to do with urban design. Anyway.
Yeah, of course, I have to thank our leader who made all this possible to us, for us in a very comfortable way. All our movements, our stay, our interactions at Bhopal, I think thank you Aruna for the great effort of putting the studio together.
I didn't say all that because we have to do it just after a few months.
But I wish you all the very best in your years to come.
I don't know.
Good show. I think it was a good show. It was really nice. I enjoyed every moment of it. I regret not being able to give more time. I feel that I've become busier than last year when Sanjit and Suzanne came for the first time. And I thought that I had been able to give a little more time, if not a lot more time, talking to students and discussing more than what we did this time. So I think it's a little to do with our own being caught up in other problems of making things happen. But I feel clearly and strongly that this is the path to follow, and that the greater the levels of exchange that happens, the better it is for anyone who may be willing voluntarily or forcefully. But at the end of the day, I think we will be rewarded with the experience either today or when we realize it much later. So I do not have any doubts about the intent of the program. I also don't have any doubts about the fact that somewhere down the line there has been positive exchange and some amount of reward or enrichment. I think the city was also a city which allowed us to be engaged more easily. And we keep saying this rather than creating problems for us. In a way, it was less challenging than what Benares was. I think Benares was much more challenging in all its fronts. Even we dealing with it, apart from understanding and trying to figure it out. This was a much more transparent city, or a welcoming city, which allowed us to